Hello, my name is Mrs. C. I'm an ELL teacher at Florida Connections Academy. Today, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on the Grade 1 Social Studies, Term 2, Unit 2, Lesson 15, Traditions We Share portfolio assignment. This is a graded assignment that you'll complete at home and turn in to your teacher. So it's very important that you try to do your best. Before we begin, I always like to look at the rubric to make sure I understand what I'm going to do on this assignment. So in this assignment, we're making a book about our favorite family tradition. And if I look at the rubric, I want to look in that category that says excellent and has the number 4 at the top. That's the highest possible score, and that's the score I want to try to get. So it says in this section, the main idea of the book is clearly stated. The tradition is clearly explained. I want to make sure that my book tells my teacher exactly which tradition I am writing about. The next section says, vivid descriptive details about the family tradition are used. The author, that's you, tells why the family has the tradition and what the author enjoys about the tradition. So these are details that you need to include within your book. The last one says at least 2 pictures that show the tradition are carefully drawn or chosen and enhance the book. So you have to have at least 2 pictures and they need to be pretty nice and neat. You can print them or you can draw them yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on our book. Now, we want to know what exactly our book needs to include. We know what the rubric says, but I have some directions here that go over what else we should make sure we do. This says, write a book that identifies and describes one of your family traditions. Your book should do the following things. These are the things that I want to make sure I include. Tell what the family tradition is. So make sure you tell the name or type of your tradition. Describe why your family has that tradition. Tell what you like about that tradition. Have at least 2 pictures that show the tradition. Have a front and back cover. Have a title and your name on the front cover. Make sure after you do it, you review that portfolio rubric again to make sure that you've checked off all of those boxes. All right, so now we are ready to go ahead and make that book. I have a piece of paper. It's just plain white paper. You could use construction paper instead if you would like. I'm going to turn it to where it's horizontal or long, and I'm going to fold it in half. So just one time. After I fold it in half, I'm going to cut it in half as well. So I'm going to take the side that's folded right here, and I'm going to cut right across the middle. That way I have 2 sections that are about the same size. Cut, 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 cut. Okay. I'm going to open one of those and I'm going to slide the other half inside. Now I could use glue or staples right along the edge and I'll have a little book with many pages that I can flip through. That way I can include all of those details that my teacher would like to see. Now, in those directions, I saw it said we need a front and a back cover. It needs to include the title of our book and our name. So I've done that so you can see what it might look like. My title is My Family Tradition, and of course it was written by Mrs. C. So I have my title and my name on the front cover. On the back, I've added a little design, doot, 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 doot. And I've also written a little bit about what the story or what this book is about. Sometimes on real books, you'll see something like this. It's not required. You could just do some decorations, but I thought it would be fun. So I wrote, this book is about Mrs. C's favorite family tradition with a little smiley face. So I have my front cover with the title and my name, and I have a back cover. Inside, I'm going to dedicate a page to each of those requirements. So it says we need to tell what the family tradition is. We need to describe why your family has that tradition. We need to tell what you like about the tradition and have at least 2 pictures. So I'm going to use a page to do each of these things in my book. So my first page, if you open my book up, says, every winter, my family bakes Christmas cookies. I've told my teacher what my tradition is. It's baking Christmas cookies. My next page, We have this tradition because all of our family members enjoy baking together. That's why we have the tradition. My favorite part of our tradition is sharing the cookies with our neighbors. That's what I like about it. The last part says I need to share at least 2 pictures. So I chose to print my pictures out. You could draw them absolutely with markers or crayons or colored pencils, but I printed mine out just because it was a little faster and I'm not the greatest artist. So I wanted you to be able to tell what was going on. In this picture, you can see it's a family baking together, which is exactly what my family likes to do. And in this picture, you can see some Christmas cookies on a plate ready to go. This is what ours usually look like before we give them to our neighbors. All right, so that's it. That's my entire book about my family tradition. So your book, of course, does not need to be about baking Christmas cookies. It needs to be about your favorite tradition, about any holiday. It doesn't have to be Christmas either. Any holiday. It doesn't have to be in winter. It could be a holiday in spring or a holiday in summer. And you need to tell your teacher all of your favorite things and why that tradition is important to your family. I'm sure if you do that and then you double check that rubric to make sure you included every detail, you'll get a fantastic grade. Good luck. I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.